going on, guys? Welcome back to the Leave It to the Judges MMA show. I'm sure you all heard the news. It's been crazy the last 24 hours. We have a new main and co-main event for UFC 294. Before we get to that, though, we're going to quickly talk about some of the fights earlier on the card. It's a great card, in my opinion. Where do you guys want to start? This card's loaded, man.
Let's just start with the Said Nurmagomedov fight.
Yeah. Said is coming. They're both coming off losses, I guess. So,
Can you click on other buddy real quick? I know he beat
oh,
he's only at one fight. Oh,
yeah, I do not know too much about this guy. I'll be honest.
I forget his fight. He fought Castaneda though. John Castaneda is a pretty good fighter. So, I mean, not much to say. I feel like Said should win this fight. This
What
guy.
impresses you about Said?
His kicks. I love watching him throw his kicks, loop them around. He has a very fun style to watch. I will say though, he gasses out in fights. I have noticed. He definitely gasses out. Usually when he goes to his wrestling though, so I feel like just strike with him and you should be okay. So I think he should win pretty easy here, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, I just don't know Gaffarov's gas tank. I don't know really. I'm pretty unfamiliar with him. So yeah, I think that if Said can, at least control two of these rounds, I don't see a problem with him winning. It might come down to one of those third round Hail Mary situations where Said is tired in the third, but up 2 rounds type shit, and we get one of those battles to the finish. But I could also see Said, as long as his cardio holds up, I can see him getting a finish here. His striking is pretty crispy.
Okay. For sure. Move up the card, boys. Oh, okay.
Wally Alves.
Okay, well, I can't click on it, but anyways. So, what do you guys thought of this fight? Ikram Askalov versus Warley Alves.
So
I'm kind of surprised Ikram's the underdog.
I am too.
No, it's wrong.
It's wrong. Okay, yeah, because some of these.
Because he was supposed to fight Imavov, and he's not. Ikram is not ranked 11th. Imavov is, so they flipped it.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not ranked yet. He beat Phil Hawes. That doesn't get you ranked. So
I was gonna say.
So actually, I believe he was the favorite against Imavov, though, which I'm a little surprised because I rate Imavov pretty highly.
Imunov is coming off that loss to Strickland, right?
No, well, he would have beat his buddy. What's his face? Curtis. He would have beat him.
Oh, Chris Curtis.
Yeah. The eye poke, yeah, Chris Curtis. You remember that shameless eye poke that he just left the fight on? But whatever. I had some money on Imavov that didn't come through. I would have made more.
Clark's just venting.
Bro, I would have made 300 more bucks if that fight just went through because Imavov was whooping him the whole time. But back to this fight, Ikram should win pretty easily, honestly. Warley Alves is honestly kind of old. He is experienced though, so maybe it'll give him a little trouble. But
he hasn't looked great recently.
Yeah, but I feel like Ikram through the wrestling and just everything else should win.
Yeah, everything else for sure.
Yeah,
I'm high on Ikram, honestly.
Yeah, this is definitely they just kind of found a guy to fill in.
Yeah.
If I can get Ikram at plus 100, I'd throw my house at it.
And then Warley Alves flying arm bars him.
There's no chance those are the odds. There's no
super shameless as finish.
But anyways, yeah, another pretty clear-cut victory for Ikram. Let's move on to a more exciting fight. I'm really excited for this fight. Ankalaev versus Walker. I'm pretty sure Ankalaev is a pretty huge favor right now.
Which one of you scumbags said that Johnny Walker had a chance in this fight? It was Clark's hot take, was it not?
Oh yeah. By the way, the only fight that is survived from the hot takes because the other two are out now.
Oh yeah. Well, you have to make new ones now for.
Well, I won't have any hot takes on the next two, but on this one, I will stick by my guns. What I saw an old ass Blahovic do to Ankalaev through the calf kicks, I think Johnny Walker can easily do that. I think he could replicate what he did. And he's been on a roll. You have to think about momentum. And look how big this man is. 6'6" to 6'3". This is no small man in there that you can easily think you could get a takedown on. And look at the reach, 82 to 75. He has good attributes to win this fight. I think he's been on such a roll. I'm taking him. John Kavanaugh, baby. Let's stand up.
Let me look at Walker's last couple.
He has looked a little improved, definitely, but I still think that chin is made out of toilet paper, and I think that one hard shot from Ankalaev, and he sends him to the shadow realm, bro. Like let's just be real about this. Like for all of his improvements technically, maybe being a little less wild, a little more measured, Ankalaev still hits hard, and like Johnny Walker still does not take punches well. So against the upper echelon of people who can actually connect with him, I just do not think that I can confidently ever take Johnny Walker.
Yeah, that's fair, man. Fair.
This is a big test for him.
It was interesting. Me and Ed were talking about this yesterday, but Johnny Walker was the he was the biggest favorite underdog for the top 3 fights, which I was surprised by. I figured Oliveira would probably have the best underdog odds, but
I mean, to be fair, Ankalaev hasn't fought in a very long time, and he is coming off those leg injuries.
yeah.
But a lot of people say he's the uncrowned king.
I just feel like, Johnny Walker, it might be his time right now. It might be his time.
Is Ankalaev not the rightful champ of the division? That's what's crazy to me. Like, are we just gonna pretend like he did not win?
I don't think so.
Did he not whip Jan? He whipped him.
Bro, well, he won it late because Jan doesn't know how to stop a man on one leg from getting a takedown. Old Blahovic couldn't stop a man on one leg to get a takedown.
I think you're I mean, I get it, but I feel like you're disrespecting Jan a little bit.
I'm not at all. I respect what he did.
Definitely is. He
definitely nah. It's just age. It's age.
But I think Ankalaev could absolutely take down Johnny Walker.
I think he's going to take him down and whoop his ass. But I also don't think he might even have to. I think 1 to 2 shots to the chin, and it's over with.
Yeah. I don't know. I like Walker's takedown even. I don't know. I'm unsure about Ankalaev right now coming back off an injury. I'm just uncertain.
If Johnny Walker's going to sit around on the outside and play the leg kick game, no chance Ankalaev doesn't say, fuck this, grab one of those legs and take him down and just get top control the rest of the round.
I need to see Johnny Walker doing some crazy shit, trying to knock him out.
Well, he's going to throw some head kicks.
Flying knee shit, man. Flying knee shit.
Get in the clinch a little bit. I don't know. This is going to be a sick fight, though.
Johnny Walker's going to fight very technical in this fight.
And, like, bro, Johnny Walker couldn't finish Anthony Smith, so it's like, no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Wasn't he like beating his ass the whole fight though, Ed?
Yeah, he beat the shit out of him. But it's Anthony Smith, so
it is Anthony Smith.
Some people thought he was gonna win that fight.
He said, "You're hurting my family. You're attacking my family."
That was the most bizarre shit ever, dude. What the fuck? All right, Dad.
A flashback.
We'll make our official predictions the week of the fight. We're kind of just talking about it right now, but let's move up to the news, guys. Two new fights on this card, like I said earlier. Let's talk about our new co-main event.
They're great fights.
Great replacement. Costa's out. Usman's in. Let's talk about it. What are you guys' thoughts?
Okay, man. Let me take the point on this one. Holy fucking shitballs. Okay. Shout out to Leon Edwards. You know, he did his thing. He won the belt. But for the longest time, you know, during Kamaru Usman's like dominant reign over 170, I thought in my mind like Khamzat might be the guy to like, you know, supplant him. Kind of similar to when Woodley used to be seen as like a dominant wrestling champion, like a champion with strong wrestling, and then Usman just ragdolled him for you know the duration of that fight. I kind of thought we might see something similar, like a bit of an aging Kamaru, Khamzat coming up the ranks, Usman's knees just not being able to keep up anymore, and then Khamzat just like wrestle fucking him. And now thanks to Leon, we never got to see that fight down at 170, but at 185, holy shit, like what a hell of a fight. I would say big test for Khamzat. He did beat Burns, who Usman beat, but to be fair, like Usman has not looked the same in his last fight to me personally. And I think like if that Usman comes in, he might get smoked. But if it's any bit of the Usman from the duration of the championship reign, this could be a hell of a fight. Really hard fight for Khamzat. Very interesting to see what Kamaru Usman's cardio looks like at 185. With no weight cut, essentially, or like a bit, like a much less strenuous weight cut. He might look good up there. Who knows? But I'm very excited about this main event.
I think people also forget just how big Usman is for welterweight. Like he cuts a lot of weight. He's a very imposing figure. I think he's going to look amazing at like without the huge weight cut. Before we get into more of the X's and O's, though, who do you think is a bigger threat to Khamzat, Costa or Usman coming into 294? Who has a better chance of beating him?
I will say this.
Usman?
I will say my gut reaction is Costa, just in terms of like the pure size of him and the effort I think it would take for Khamzat to continuously get him to the ground. If that's like what he had to do to win that fight. But I think if championship version of Usman shows up, he could easily make my prediction look kind of stupid. Because I think that like on paper, Usman's a bad matchup for Chimaev. I would say he has a striking advantage, not by too much, but he's a lot more like crispy and technical after his years with Trevor Whitman. And on paper, at least, he should have the wrestling to neutralize Khamzat largely, at least. So I would kind of favor Usman on paper. Again, I say on paper in a striking fight. But my problem is Usman just looks so terrible in his last fight against Edwards to me personally. Like gun shy, he wasn't as active as he normally is. He wasn't like pressing the action how he normally does. So I just feel like my opinion on the current form of Kamaru, like I'm gonna need to see this fight to really, make my decision on like what he still has left in the tank, Like
Yeah.
3 years ago, I think this would have been a whole different conversation, or 2 years ago even.
Okay. What are your thoughts, Clark?
I love this fight. I actually kind of love it more than the Costa fight. I'm not gonna lie.
Me too.
The thing is, I don't know if Usman is a really traditional middleweight. And I
Really?
feel like Chimaev is more built for the middleweight division. So I don't know if that will play much of a factor into it because I don't know if Usman's ever been at middleweight. This might be his first time ever.
He hasn't, bro, but like I said earlier, I feel like he's just a really big dude.
He is, but he's like about 5'11", 6 foot, which isn't bad for middleweight, but I will say it's a little shorter than average, I'd say. I think this comes down to who can impose their will more. I think stylistically they're very like equal when you look at it on paper. The striking I feel like is very similar. They go with a lot of 1-2s, a lot of jabs. Both don't really kick a lot either. And the wrestling, it's top tier from both of them. I mean, I think it'll be a lot of scrambling, a lot of takedown attempts, I think, coming from both of them. But I do feel like at the end of the day, Shamaev is a little more geared up right now for this fight. And also the week and a half notice is not great.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
So I feel like I think Chimaev wins, but it's a very close fight. I think it goes to decision.
I like how you pointed out that Usman is also going to be shooting for takedowns. I think that's going to be a key part of it because I feel like Khamzat's never really been challenged in that world in MMA, at least in the UFC. I think this fight has knockout written all over it, dude. Like, I think the wrestling's going to kind of cancel itself out, and like they're just going to fucking bang, bro. I think someone's getting knocked out.
I will say this. I think that if this fight were a 5-rounder, it might favor Kamaru a little bit more. Just because like I did see like I just watched like maybe like an hour ago the Hamzat Burns fight over.
Tired out.
And yeah, I mean like they both were, it was a high-paced fight for sure. So they were both kind of gassed, which kind of like neutralized the gas tank factor of the fight. But I will say like Kamaru, who's known for pushing a hard pace for 5 rounds, Hamzat, I feel like definitely gassed out in round 2 a little bit and then caught a second wind. And I think that Kamaru Usman might snowball him if he like gasses out too quickly. So hopefully he doesn't come out and blow his low, even though like I would love to see that, like, aesthetically. But it could mean more problems for him like in the later half of the fight if he does, punch out. Because I think that Usman has a little more power in his hands than Burns. So yeah, it could go bad for him.
I just have 2 questions for Hamzat. Like, just let me know if this is concerning at all to you guys. Hamzat, first of all, has not fought in a very long time, I feel like. Or no, wait, when did he fight Holland?
It's been about a year and it's been a year. It's probably gonna be a year and a half.
Like, yeah, it's been a while, and like I'm not trying to be bogus, but it was Kevin Holland. Like, it's not exactly top tier competition. Also, I was talking about with Clark earlier. Hamzat really did struggle to take down Burns, and like it is MMA mathy of me to say this, but like, how the hell is he going to take down Kamaru Usman if he could barely take down Gilbert Burns?
I feel like
I will kind of say from my perspective, I don't think it was so much a problem taking him down as like Burns is just very nasty on the ground with his submissions and jiu-jitsu. So I feel like against Kamaru Usman, the threat of taking him down is not as great. You know what I mean? Like I think that at worst, Kamaru Usman probably stands up. I don't think that Hamza would have to worry about getting submitted down there necessarily.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, that's all. I actually forgot to talk about that. I feel like Kamaru Usman is very different on his back compared to on top pressure and getting the ground. He's very good in the ground and pound department, but off his back, I just don't see him getting a lot of subs down there. Like he's mainly gonna try to probably get back up.
Oh, he's definitely going to try to post up and try to get up, maybe off the fence or some shit.
I feel like that does favor Chimaev a little because I do see Chimaev being good off his back.
Okay.
I do think he's got good jiu-jitsu. I love this fight though. I feel like it could kind of go either way. I feel like Usman will also come in with an attitude. Like I feel like he realizes he dropped the ball in his last fight. And I think he'll come back with some fire, but I feel like the way Shimai's been fighting, I can't bet against him right now. My money's on him.
Yeah, I'll wait to make my official pick until we have to the week of, but it's gonna be sick. Let's move on to the main event. We talked about it a lot yesterday, but we could quickly get X's thoughts.
Bum bum bum.
First of all, Xavier,
I'll talk about it as well. I'll talk about
Are you salty at all? Charles isn't in the fight.
What do you mean by salty? Because like
Not
disappointed.
Yeah, disappointed, not salty. Yeah. I know you're not like a diehard fan, but like, which fight would you have rather seen?
Personally, I kind of want to see Islam, kind of run through the ranks of lightweight more so. So I think that like while this fight interests me in terms of like I do think it's probably his biggest challenge. I think that this is a much more risky fight in terms of like for Islam personally. But I kind of in my mind wanted to not see this for a while type shit again. I kind of would have rather him, beat Charles, and then just like see him against, some of these other fighters at lightweight. Personally, I think that this is a much more dangerous fight than Charles. So from Islam fan perspective, I'm a little more worried, but great fight. I can't complain about it.
Who do you think going into UFC 294 would have been a bigger threat to Islam?
Volk.
Volk. Okay.
Yeah. I just think
I
that
kind of agree with Xavier. Like, this is obviously a great fight, but I really wanted to see the Oliveira rematch. Like, we don't need this fight right now.
Exactly.
Like you said, they probably both would have kept running through contenders if Islam got past Oliveira. I'm surprised our boy Clark here isn't like really upset.
Oh, I'm not upset. We're chilling. We're in Brazil, fucking chilling right now. We'll be back in January, February. We have the next title shot. They're
But
not.
what if Volk wins?
Oh well, they'll do the trilogy. I mean, that's like the worst case scenario, I guess. Then we'll just chill even more. But here's the deal. I honestly feel like in this rematch, and Volkanovski also coming off like a week and a half notice, it will be so much easier for Islam to win this fight. Like he I feel like he underestimated Volk a lot in the first fight and didn't like come in with the best strat or even the best game plan or training. I mean, I just feel like he took it lightly, to be honest, in that fight.
I
I just
agree.
did.
I think that Islam probably thought that he would be able to manhandle Volk a lot easier than he was. Maybe didn't. I don't want to say didn't spend as much time on his wrestling as he might have now. Just because I'm sure he thought like this little man, like I'm just gonna lift him, slam him, choke him out down there, and Volk. I mean, while he was able to get taken down like multiple times in that fight, he was not getting finished down there. And I'm pretty sure that was a big surprise to Islam. Also, Volk's cardio is crazy, and his striking is very crisp. So, I think that we could see. The thing is, this fight's not even like it's on short notice again. So it's like I would like to see this fight again with like both of them having a full camp, even though I'd imagine that Volk, has been training for Islam because like that's the only person that like really beat him. You know what I mean? In years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. And also, like, I think we can all agree whether he scored the fight for Islam or Volk, it's a very close fight, but Volk definitely won like the moral battle in the fans of MMA got in the eyes of MMA fans. Can we all agree on that?
Yes.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like this fight, bro, I just once again I totally agree with you, X. I want a full build up. I want full training camps. I'm worried Islam's just gonna win a decision, dude. Like a more dominant decision. That's what I think's gonna happen.
See, my thing is this: like, okay, boom. Let's say Islam wins again. Do they ever have a third fight now? Like, I don't know about that. You know what I mean?
Not unless they just both are running through literally everyone.
Yeah, it'd be down the line like 3 years probably. I'd say at least.
But like, is that even the same thing? Like, that's my point. Like,
But
No, definitely
I
not.
personally would have rather if I'm Volk. I mean, I know he wants to, he feels like he damn near won that last fight, and he, probably feels pretty confident coming into this one. But if I was Volk, I would have definitely, let someone else slide into this, this slot as the backup, and then like got my shot down the line. I feel like with a proper setup and situation.
yeah, Chael came out with a fake video saying Gamrot was the
Dude,
backup.
I am done listening to Chael's advice or like his
Hey,
sources or whatever, bro. Like I'm done.
I mean, I'm happy Gamrot didn't take it. I feel like that would have been a way more boring
That
finish.
would have been the most boring shit ever.
But okay,
Apparently,
wait, I have a question for both of y'all.
okay.
Because this is really getting to me. Who is more likely to sub him off their backs and get an actual creative knockout, Oliveira or Volk?
Oliveira.
But you're
I mean,
saying Volk's more dangerous. Like how?
I'm saying some him off the back is a very specific like.
Well, but he's gonna be on his back, X. Like he's gonna be on his back, no matter what happens.
No, but we don't know. No, Charles will be on his back. Charles will be on his back. Will Volk be on his back? We don't know that. That's what I'm saying.
Charles might not let it get there. He might just knock him out in 2 seconds, just get it over.
Stop. We both know that that's not the case.
Okay, but they are very different fighters, and
Is it not a bad matchup for Charles? It's just a bad matchup for
It
him.
is a bad matchup, but I will say Charles can rush him early and get him out. Do you not agree? Like he's more likely to rush and get him out of there than Volk is, I would say.
He's more likely to finish Islam than Volk is, but I still think Volk has a better chance of beating him.
Yes.
I don't disagree with that. You just said he was more dangerous. I mean, dangerous
Exactly.
losing a decision. I don't know. Dangerous.
Yeah, but it's like a double-edged sword, bro. It's more risky for Oliveira. It's harder for Oliveira to win because of how risky it is.
Well, yeah, that's fine. That's how we fight. This is how we come to play. Like,
I mean, that's what I'm saying, though. The same thing could happen like in the last fight. You get caught by Islam and choked on the ground again.
oh, that's very possible. But the Oliveira kid, hey, we almost got our face bitten off by a horse.
I would even say probable.
Huh?
I would say it's even more probable that's what happens. That like Islam clubs and subs Charles again. Like I would say that's even more probable.
And
like,
Volk also did drop Islam in their last fight.
Let's not forget about that. Like
late,
if there was like 3 more rounds of that fight, like I have no doubt that like Volk probably wins that bitch.
And there was no point in that fight where I was like, "Oh, Islam's gonna finish Volk." Like even when he had his back,
well, he didn't
Volk
have
was, like,
Khabib.
laughing at
He didn't
him.
have Khabib in his corner. He had to call Daddy Khabib back for this fight against Charles. He had to call him up like, "Hey, I need you to beat this guy." In that fight against Volk, was he not? He was not there. So,
all right.
I will say that probably like works in Islam's
difference.
favor. That does make a difference. I feel like Coach Khabib definitely gonna come in that bitch and like
it will.
You know, have Islam on his P's and Q's. It might be a much less competitive fight, honestly.
Islam also hasn't fought since the Volk fight, and Volk looked amazing against Yair. So that's also like Volk has no signs of slowing down.
Hey, Volk's a beast. I hope he wins this fight. I'm not gonna lie, but
I'll be rooting for him.
I am picking Islam. I feel like a full training camp, like against a week and a half notice.
It's tough.
I also kind of just want Charles to beat him. I don't want Volk to have that.
But before we wrap the video up, a bit of a bizarre question, but like in 6 months it's going to be UFC 300. What do you guys think the main event of UFC 300 is going to be?
McGregor.
McGregor who?
Chandler, yeah. I think it's something Dana White would definitely do, like put that fight on the when will 300 be? Like
it's in 6 months.
Oh, well, maybe not then. I don't know. It depends when Connor's like coming back. Like we just really don't know.
Well, what would you guys have? Like what your most realistic
I would fuck with McGregor and Chandler.
Okay.
Just put them on the 300. That'd be cool to me.
What about you, Xavier?
My thing is this, like it depends on like what the landscape looking like, because I would kind of like as much as I love Connor, the thought of not having a title fight at the top of that card is just not sitting right with me, right? So I would almost rather them just like catapult Connor, like I love you, Chandler, but say fuck Chandler, catapult Connor into a title fight of some sort, because as wrong as that would be, I just feel like I do not want to watch 2 or 3 title fights and then finish with Connor Chandler in 2024. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. Honestly, hey, the timing lines up well here. We could do Islam Charles too for that 300 card.
Good. I think if John Jones is still there, they should do John Jones versus
oh yeah. Oh,
Pavlovich.
No.
Yeah, Pavlovich versus John Jones.
Oh, I don't want to see that as a
UFC 300, dude.
That'd be crazy though. That'd be the best like main they could get.
I'd rather see that than McGregor Chandler.
For sure.
I do not want to see John Jones fight that man. Okay.
Who would you? Or him or Aspinall.
I need
versus John
Aspinall.
Jones.
I need Aspinall to turn him away, and I would much rather see Aspinall versus John.
He's
I
fighting
just-
John though soon.
I just feel like dude.
Dude, John versus Pavlovich. Oh my god. UFC 300.
Pavlovich, the next person that strikes fear in my heart for John, but like
He's
it's
scary,
really
bro.
Why isn't John?
that's not even to say I would favor him at all. Like I would completely take John still, but it's like
Isn't it out now that he's retiring?
I don't think so.
Out.
I don't think it's official.
There was like a lot of news, like I think last week about it and whatnot. I feel like he's just gonna retire. To be
part
honest,
of me thinks that like that's for the best. You know what I'm saying? Just because like in this dirty game we call MMA, we know that like the longer you go, you will get burned. It's not even to say like it reflects anything on you as a fighter. It's just how the game goes.
It's so unpredictable.
And I feel like for John to do all he's done, like 2 weight divisions, he'll take out the GOAT of his era. Like, there's no reason to fight this next generation of up and coming killers. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason type shit. Like from a like legacy marketing standpoint, like there's no reason. Like,
yeah, 100%.
Competitively, obviously, it would interest me when I watch every single one of them. Absolutely. But I think he's financially set. I think his legacy is set. And I think his legacy can only be damaged by losing to these up and coming guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that. But like you said, having McGregor Chandler at UFC 300, the main event, it's just a little like whatever. Obviously, I'm going to be invested. It's Conor, but it's a little goofy.
It does take a little bit of the credibility off of the sport, I would say.
You could do McGregor versus Gaethje for the BMF belt.
That would be
fine too. It's like the same fight though. Like it's the same.
But there's a belt on the line, and like,
I
guess
yeah, the fake belt,
the fake belts.
I mean, I would say you could have the lightweight title be defended on the pay-per-view and then put like Chandler McGregor like under that fight.
I mean, that'd be fine.
So where it's like if Conor wins, then like let's say like Islam wins, boom. Then like or even Charles wins, boom, face off in the cage for the next fight. Like that would be super fucking hype.
Yeah.
Unless Chandler wins, in which case the whole shit just like ruined.
That'd be so terrible. Well, first of all, Conor McGregor he can't be a co-main event. He just can't be. But
he just is. He just is. He's just that dude, bro. He can do whatever he wants at this point. So
yeah, he really can.
He's gonna be the main for the rest of his career. That's all I'm saying.
You see, A side. All right. Well, anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. This news is crazy to all of us. Can't wait to actually see the fights. It's almost here, guys. But thank you so much for watching. Check out our other vids and the TikToks. We'll catch y'all.
Peace.